CNN today, Donald Trump said that President Obama didn't do anything for African Americans and that he would do more. Folks, if you believe that, you are a fool. Straight up fool. Let's just go over these numbers for a second, okay? First of all, black unemployment is, for the first time in I don't know when, under 10%. It's at 9.1%. The reason for this has to do first with the implementation of the Economic Recovery Act that President Obama installed in 2009, which spread billions of dollars of investment into cities, focused on infrastructure replacement, and gave great jobs to many people, including many African Americans. The unemployment rate for blacks came plunging down to the point where by early 2012, late 2011, we begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And now, after fits and starts last year, the year before, 2014, it has settled into a position of 9%. 9.1%. Yes, African American youth unemployment is high at 56%, but guess what? It's equal for Latino youth as well. And in general, for youth, it's still very high. The bottom line is that the gains that have been made over the Obama administration cannot be forgotten. Some of you would say, oh, it's because people haven't participated in the labor force. Well, by what measure, okay? The simple fact of the matter is that if you start your own company, startup company, an LLC, for example, the government hasn't adjusted its statistics to reflect the fact that you've started your own business. You've essentially created your own employment. The model of measurement is still focused on the idea that you have to work for someone else rather than start your own business. That is the huge problem across the board. And at a time we have more conversations about startups, more startups than ever before, funding mechanisms for startups, people who in venture capitalists fund startups, we don't seem to have reconciled what creating a startup and how to basically categorize its founders should be with respect to whether or not they're employed. So if you say they're out of the labor force, that's wrong. That's going on a lot, folks. So it is a statistical problem that needs to be cleared up. Now, back to my main point here. Obama has helped the African American community far more in other ways that Donald Trump didn't even think of. For example, people who are black, who have their own businesses, have done better working with the White House and government than ever before. My company is on the White House press list, to offer you but one example among thousands of others. So where Donald Trump got this idea, I don't know. But I will tell you this, Trump needs to focus on his own record with blacks and start telling the truth because he has huge problems. For example, did you know that in 1973, he and his father were sued by the federal government for race discrimination? That's right. And they actually had to come to an agreement, a negotiation, where, among other things, Trump would agree not to discriminate against minorities and also acquaint himself, and I'm quoting, with the Fair Housing Act of the time. I'm not kidding you. You think he would learn from that, right? But no, because in 1996, he went and promised to the city of Gary, Indiana, that 70% of the jobs in a planned floating casino will go to blacks and minorities. They did not. They did not. And so he wound up being sued by Gary because the jobs he promised, like he's promising jobs to blacks today, didn't materialize. The bottom line, those are just two examples. The bottom line is that Donald Trump, and there are many more examples, has a history of discriminating against black people in employment. So for him to come up and suddenly say, I'll do more for the blacks, is crazy, because he's not going to. He'll promise, but he won't deliver. Oh, and then something else too. If he really wanted to demonstrate that he was doing something for African Americans and he's worth $10 billion, what he should say, but he can't say it because he's never done it, is, I'm a venture capitalist, I have a fund that specializes in black startups, and I've invested, say, X amount, and it's created Y amount of jobs, and that is how I've helped the black community. That would be a true, measurable example of involvement in getting blacks employed. But Trump hasn't done that. What he has are lawsuits, not one, but several, proving that he discriminates against blacks when it comes to jobs. Oh, and in the case of the casino matter, he will say, oh, I gave black jobs to blacks. He gave janitorial jobs, the low-end jobs that don't pay a living wage. The great jobs, the dealer jobs and other high-end jobs, he gave to whites. Check it out for yourself. It's on the internet. Learn to use it, folks. Learn to Google.